Hey, fifth graders, let's get ready for some more division work. So checking out our first problem, 256 divided by 47. And you know the drill right now for how we can estimate the quotient. We're going to do some rounding. So let's round this guy to 50. And then what's a multiple of 50 that would work for this guy? I hope you were thinking 250. If you weren't, remember, count by 50s till you get to something that works. So 250 divided by 50 we can pretend is 25 divided by 5, which would be 5. So we can estimate that our quotient is going to be somewhere near 5. Now let's take a moment so we can solve it properly. So 47 into 256, and then we estimated that it's going to go in 5 times. So there's our divide. Then we got to multiply 47 times 5. So we're just going to do that up here in the corner. 47 times 5, 5 times 7 is 35, carry our 3, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 is 23. Okay, so we did our multiply and we got 235, so divide, multiply, subtract. 256 minus 235 is 21. So we're saying that our answer is going to be 5, remainder 21. So 5R21. Let's take a look. So we know to check we have to multiply our divisor by our quotient for 235, and then we need to add the remainder back in for a whopping total of 256. Perfect. Way to go, us. So how did our estimate help us? Why did we start off with that estimate? Well, because that gave us a starting point for our quotient. It gives us a starting point because without that estimate, we would have had a really hard time getting this number and it would have taken forever. This estimate helps give us a good idea for what our first step is going to be. So this time our estimate didn't need to be adjusted. Explain why. Because our remainder was not greater than our divisor. 21 is not bigger than 47. So I'm going to put it that way. Our remainder was still smaller than our divisor. So we'll put it that way. We'll put it in math speak using our less than symbol. And then to draw a number bond to help us with this problem, we're going to do it like this. 256 and 21, 235, boom. Let's work on this next problem. 236 divided by 39. So we know we're going to round this guy to 40. So we're going to round to 40. And then what basic fact do you see in your estimation? Well, if I pretend that my 40 is a 4, and I could round this to 240, then I can see 24 divided by 4. And since I know my times tables, that's going to help me be successful. So let's see, we've got 240 divided by 40, or 24 divided by 4. And that's going to get us to 6. So that's our estimate for our quotient. So let's take a look. So let's see, we have 39 into 236. So for our divide step, our estimate tells us that it's 6. So then we multiply 39 times 6. And that's going to equal 234. 234. Ooh, and then we subtract 2. So 6, remainder 2. And then you know we got to check. So we've got to do our 39 times 6, 234, and then add that remainder for a whopping total of 236. So why was our estimate so darn good? Well, we didn't round very far. 39 is really close to 40. And 240 is pretty close to 236. So that's why our estimate looks so good, is we didn't round very far. So here are 3 different estimates that we could use. So one tells us that our quotient would be 7, one 10, and one says 9. So 3 different answers. They're all fairly close to each other. So let's solve using rounding to 350 and 50. So we have 46 going into 369, and our estimate says 7. Okay, so let's multiply. 46 times 7 is 322. All right, 322. Then we're going to subtract 47. Uh-oh. 47 is bigger than our divisors, 46. If this number is bigger, then that means I could have put another group of 46 in. So we're going to try 8 times. 46 times 8. Oh, that's 368. That's way better. So let's try again. 368. Subtract 1. So now we have 8, remainder 1. Go ahead and check. 46 times 8 equals 368. Adding in our remainder of 1, that's an ugly plus sign, we get 369. Awesome. Right back where we started. So what can we say about estimating quotients? It's useful, but sometimes we have to adjust. Estimating's super useful for long division, but sometimes we're going to have to tweak it a little to make sure we're getting the correct quotient for our problem. All right, the last problem that we're going to look at today, 712 divided by 94. So there's a couple different ways we could estimate this. We could say 700 divided by 100, or we could say 720 divided by 90. So this one would equal 7, and this one would equal 8. 2 different answers, but still really close to each other. So let's take a look. We're gonna use the second one. We're gonna use 720 divided by 90 equals 8. So let's take a look. 94 into 712. We're gonna estimate that goes in 8 times. And so then we're going to multiply. So 94 times 8, 752. Uh-oh, what's the problem here? Yeah, we can't subtract 752 from 712. That's too big. It won't work. Yeah. Try again. So let's see, 94 into 712, and that we'll try 7 times. Okay, how about 94 times 7? Oh, okay, 658. Well, that works a little better. And then 712 minus 658 is going to be 54. So 7 with a remainder of 54. A pretty big remainder, but still smaller than our divisor. So there we go. We had to revise a bit. Then we're going to go ahead and check. So 94 times 7, 658, adding in our remainder of 54, and that's back to 712. Awesome. And then our last number bond, 712. And then you can see Stickman is just exhausted from all this math. Poor Stickman.